Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your SmackDown review. So, all I'm thinking about from Raw is that ridiculous promo with Batista and Triple H. Give me what I want. And I was looking at on Instagram a really funny, if you want to be my lover remix, a little like meme that they made. Where they were making fun of Batista and Triple H, and it is hilarious. I mean, that's some meme-worthy shit that they did on Raw. So, but, here on SmackDown, there's nothing meme-worthy. It's just, one thing on here was sort of alright, and that's the Randy Orton, AJ Styles thing, because it was something that they don't normally do. But aside from that, there was nothing here but cringy Lynch and a bunch of the other same lame shit that we normally get. So let's start from the top, folks. Shane McMahon comes out, and just as I said during my Fastlane review, pretty much point for point, we're gonna get an explanation of what he did to The Miz, and it's not gonna make any sense. What's his explanation? Oh, I'm sick and tired of doing things for other people. I'm gonna do them for myself. First of all, he spent the better part of his career and TV presence being a heel alongside Vince McMahon, and he's talking about, people are always asking me what I could do for them, and I'm just like, what is he even fucking saying? And plus, where's The Miz? Did he really look like he was that beaten down at the pay-per-view that he wouldn't come out here to cut a promo on Shane or to retaliate? And I don't know what it is, but at this stage in the game, I'm not really buying Shane McMahon as a big-time heel. I mean, I don't know, something about him back in the day, he just doesn't look like a heel anymore. I don't know. I think it's just that maybe he has too kind of a face now. It's just, it doesn't really work for him. He looked like he could be an asshole when he was a kid, but now he doesn't. We kind of just look at him as a father and things like that. It's like, I'm just not buying him as a heel. And this explanation, I don't know what it is. I mean, this promo is better than what we get from most of the roster. But Shane McMahon, and it's not just the material. There's something about the poise. There's something about the delivery that's not quite right. And I've seen this ever since he returned in 2016. He's not the same Shane McMahon from the Attitude Era. And he's not the same Shane McMahon from the Ruthless Aggression Era. Something is very wrong with his promo style. I don't know if it was all that time away kind of just, made him forget how to cut a promo, because he's not doing it so good anymore. So, this was just a, just an announcement basically for the match against The Miz. And, and the explanation was just as sloppy as what is it with them? Every single time they do a heel turn, and it never makes any sense. And then when it comes time for them to save face and explain it, they do an even worse job. Up next, you had Aleister Black and Ricochet teaming with Jeff, the Hardy Boys, and they went to a no contest with the Bar, Nakamurphy, and Rusev. And this is just basically, we don't know what to do with any of these guys. Let's just throw them all into one shit fest. This is normally what we get. Like, instead of actually doing something, with the Hardys, it's like, it just pisses me off so much that a man the caliber of Matt Hardy, with all that charisma and all of what he can do with that character of his, with the broken Matt or the woken Matt, that whole universe that he created with help from Jeremy Borash. How in the world are we just back at the Hardys tag team? And not only, okay, you want to be back with the Hardys tag team, okay, but have him be Brother Nero. Why is it, back to the same old, the way how they came into the WWE back in 2017? Like, do they not realize that this is 2019 and we're acting like it's the year 2000? Like, there's got to be something different. Something has to evolve and everything. You know, I know we want nostalgia. We want to be reminded of the good old days. But well, trust me, we know this is not the good old days. You're not fooling us that much by, you know, giving us little glimpses of nostalgia. Because we know it's not as good as it used to be. And not by a long fucking shot. And so when we have things that have potential. And this is when I was watching on the BDF network. You know, he talked about how today's roster sucks, and he went through everybody point for point. Great video. Go check it out over on the BDF network. But, you know, I'm just saying to myself, like, it's... And I left a comment on the video. It's not that the roster is bad. They have plenty of stars. Not only do we have the Hardy Boys, but we have Kurt Angle. We have Batista's currently there now. We have Rey Mysterio. There's Elias. There's Drew McIntyre. There's a whole bunch of wrestlers that ooze charisma. And, you know, we missed an opportunity opening segment to have one of them there with The Miz. There's plenty of stars. There's plenty of potential. There's plenty of people who have proven themselves in the past. And, you know, they just don't treat these people like stars anymore. Look at Kurt Angle, for example, how they treated him Raw. You want to talk about charisma. You want to talk about ability. You want to talk about someone with star power. They treat the guy like he is the fucking Brooklyn Brawler. They treat him like he was Funaki or some shit. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. It's that they have all these big stars, and I don't know if they're punishing them for whatever reason. But it's not that they have a bad roster. Actually, they have some really good people on that roster. It's how they're utilizing that roster. And I used to say that about TNA a lot of the time. I said they have an incredible roster. But what the thing is, the problem with that roster was they never knew how to use any of those people. It always went to waste. And then they have New Day just rush in there, beat the shit out of everybody, and I'm like, okay, I thought they were supposed to be baby faces. Oh, well, they're frustrated. They're frustrated with, you know, Kofi Mania being kept down. And I'm just like, the New Day with the pancakes and the positivity, the bright colored outfits, the unicorn horn strapped to their foreheads, and I'm supposed to believe that these guys could clear the ring of 8 men? I mean, really? Like 3 on 8 and they're just gonna fucking beat everybody up? Okay. You know, realism. The Usos are backstage and they hinted at, you know, their next opponents being the Hardys. They mentioned brothers that they haven't been able to beat yet. This could be a good match at Mania, and I would really like to see that be like an actual just regular tag match. But knowing them, they're probably going to change it to a ladder match. They're probably going to throw everybody in there because that's what they've been doing, especially this year. Have you ever seen like a period in WWE where everything just didn't go according to plan? I know their plans suck, but how shitty does it look that every single week they keep changing every single match? Oh, this guy's in the match. Oh, this guy's in the match. Oh, I'm going to take you out, put you back in. It's like, it's madness already. I mean, really, this show, these shows, these pay-per-views, they look like they were like, you know, handed into a mental institution. And the inmates were told, okay, write a show. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's actually an insult to the inmates, because I think maybe they might be doing a better job than the creative staff, to be perfectly honest. At least most of those people in the institution are medicated. The creative team is not. So they're probably going to do, you know, probably like fucking 10 tag teams or something at WrestleMania. I would definitely expect that from them. You know, I understand the mentality of trying to get everybody on the card, trying to get everybody a payday. But at some point, we need to fucking stop already with, you know, let's just pour fucking everything's a triple threat match. Everything's a fatal 4-way. I mean, it's like ridiculous already. It's too much. Too much. Yeah. Then we got the Orton promo that I was talking about at the beginning of the review. And, you know, Orton starts talking about how AJ was in the bingo hole when he debuted. And actually, when he debuted, I believe AJ actually happened to be the NWA. No, actually, I don't think he was champion yet. He became that in 2003. So I'm like, okay, they're not going to mention TNA. I understand why we would maybe not mention TNA, you know, back in like 2010 or something, when they were kind of like gaining on them in the ratings a little bit. I could see that. But now I'm pretty sure that they're not that big of a threat, you know, so that they really need to worry about Impact Wrestling being mentioned on TV. You know, for the sake of realism, you know, because it's like, I get that, you know, people complain, say, why don't you mention TNA? Okay, well, it's free promotion. I understand, you know, why a company would not want to mention another company. But in this instance, does it really fucking matter? I mean, now there's like no excuse. They meant, like, they think, oh, you know, AJ, you were in TNA, which was a glorified indie fed. Do you think that people are gonna be like, well, what's TNA? And then they're gonna like research and fall in love with Impact Wrestling and start watching that on the Pursuit Network? Oh, I'm in love. Screw this WWE garbage. I'm going over to Impact. That's just not going to happen. You know, because I mean, that would have to be the scenario that they're thinking of, what McMahon thinks. But if he knows they're not even competition, he doesn't even treat them like they're competition, why even, you know, worry about mentioning it? Anyway, he surprised me, Orton, because he actually did say, you know, you were down in Florida getting a tan with Dixie Carter. I don't know why he waited all the way up into 2005 to mention that. But that was because actually, what was it, in 2004? I think they moved to the Impact Zone, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't really know. So anyway, AJ comes out, and to me, like, Orton kind of killed him here in this promo. I know it's fake and everything, and he tried to do a work shoot, but I kind of like this. You know, Orton kind of felt like he was himself. You know, he said, you know, he called him an indie worker and all that, and, you know, Orton had a problem with the indies. He had gone on record, he talked about the Young Bucks, so he was kind of being himself here. There's also a little bit of implementation of the Baron Corbin character from NXT, which I was a fan of that. But now, you know, God forbid you probably try to do a type of character like that in NXT. The fans be like, yeah, I'm all triggered over it. Don't talk about that, you know. Anyway, so, you know, it was good to see Orton kind of be himself here a little bit. They both seemed like they were into it, but AJ's lines were super lame. Like, oh, you're using a fake diamond cutter. Okay, that line would have been effective if he brought that out in 2004 when Orton started to popularize the move. I could see why he might have said you're ripping off DDP. But when the guy's been using the move now for like a decade and a half, is it really an effective insult? It's like, okay, you know, at this point, I think more people say RKO than Diamond Cutter. Even though, you know, wrestling was more popular when DDP was doing that move. And DDP was still active in WCW. But, I think most people know the RKO meme, the RKO thing out of nowhere. So rarely anybody even says Diamond Cutter. They say RKO. So that line was lame. And then it ends with a finger point to the sign. It's like they can never just get out of a decent or good promo, you know, like unscathed. There's always got to be some lame shit in there. And it's not me just looking for things to criticize, but I mean, that's kind of my thing here. But, you know, I mean, I have to. I mean, I wouldn't be honest if I sit here and say, oh, this promo was 100% fine, grade A, premium, great. No, it's like, it was better than normal. But, like, also, they didn't go far enough. You know, oh, you're getting a 10 with Dixie Carter. That's the only mention that we get of Impact Wrestling. And this is, like, fine for a lot of people. People pop for this. And I was like, okay. It was a bit of a surprise because it looked like they were just going to go with the generic bingo hall statement, you know, that they've been saying ever since Jerry the King Lawler gave them that line back in 96 or whenever it was, when they started doing the first ECW invasion, 96, 97. You know, Jerry the King Lawler was the one who gave him that line. Ever since then, everyone refers to the bingo hall as you know, the Indies. You know, that's kind of like the that's like a synonym for the Indies. But anyway, I mean, okay, so we're gonna get Orton and AJ. That just kind of seems really underwhelming for WrestleMania. I don't know. It's like we've seen that match already, I think. Even if we don't, it just, I don't know. Something about it. Just like all these matches they're making. It's like, who gives a fuck about any of them? Then we get Asuka defeating Sonya Deville. And I know I asked for, you know, Sonya to be the one to challenge Asuka instead of Mandy Rose. But, you know, not when we have basically, you know, Sonya in the position that she's in now, where she just doesn't look good. You know, they've beaten her so many times. Her MMA background, it doesn't even make her stand out anymore. You know, because it's like, okay, well, she's an MMA fighter, but she comes out there and she loses to fake wrestlers every week. Okay, so, and they go with the same dumbass finish. The same garbage finish they did at Fastlane. But it's like Mandy Rose is getting back at her. So what she does is she flips up the ring apron. You know, she like goes underneath it, which just looks dumb. Like, first of all, like, what is she even doing under there? And then they also have Sonya tripping on it. Like, when she runs to the rope, she trips on the ring apron. Now, like, first of all, I understand if the foot got trapped in the apron and she fell. I said the same rant here in my Fastlane review. So if you want to hear that, go check out that video. It's worth the watch. And hear me rant on the Asuka Mandy Rose match. So it's like lay a blanket down on the floor and then, you know, walk over it. If you trip on it, you know, you're a goofball, obviously. But, you know, I understand that if your foot got wrapped up in it, then you would fall over. But how are you falling over a ring apron that barely even makes contact with your foot at all? And they go for the spot, not once, but twice. Like, once is enough to make it look fucking horrible. And then they gotta go ahead and replay it. Like, they're always replaying these horrible looking spots, and they went ahead and they did it again. They did it 2 nights in a row. You know, well, yeah, skip one night for SmackDown, but you get the point. So I don't know. I guess maybe at Mania we'll get a classic Sonya and Mandy feud, or maybe they'll try to like extend it out into the women's Battle Royal, and maybe they'll like have Mandy and Sonya eliminate each other, some type of classic shit like that. Give me a break. Then up next, this is everyone's favorite part of these reviews, where I talk about Stone Cold Cringy Lynch. And okay, so I noticed something about this. So when Cringy Lynch comes out and she cuts her promos, you know, she likes to talk tough. You know, she's the next Stone Cold. She's, you know, the very essence of the women's division. She's the hottest thing going in WWE. Look how upset a lot of people get. They get triggered every single time I bring up Becky Lynch in any of my reviews. Everyone's always like, oh, what are you talking about? She's the hottest thing right now. Why wouldn't they push her? Well, and they, you know, conveniently leave out the fact that every single time she's on screen that the ratings drop, that people turn the TV off. So let's ignore that and let's pretend like just because the in-house crowd is cheering for her, that is an accurate assessment. Forgetting the fact that no one even fucking watches the show. It's the same goofballs watching it every week that gives them the 2 million views. So when Becky cuts a promo, though, she'll always start doing the tough talking thing like she's Stone Cold or something like that. And then her voice would go up like this, and then she'll start doing it like this. Like, you guys, like, notice that? And it's like the weirdest thing. She wants to call Ronda Rousey a weirdo. For some reason, she used that terminology, calling her a weirdo for, like, I don't understand, like, Ronda attacks her at the pay-per-view, that makes her a weirdo. If we're talking about weirdos, what's up with Becky Lynch talking like this all the time? Like, she goes, I'm talking like this and this, and then she goes, and another thing that I need to say about you. Like, what is that? Like, that her voice goes up, and it's like she can't maintain the fake Stone Cold voice. It's so much overacting. How does anyone find this to be good? You know, you could say something is good, but it comes a point when, you know, okay, I get it. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. If you say something and it can't be proven as fact, it's an opinion, right? Okay, so, you know, it could be like 10 feet of snow outside, and some total fucking goofball is going to say, hey, it's a nice day outside. Well, you know, obviously that's not true, but technically that's their opinion. And that would be the same thing if someone said that Becky Lynch's performance as the man is good. So what I'm saying here now is, she don't sound like a man, and she don't sound like a female. She kind of sounds like some weird combination of both. So she's the she-male, maybe? Like, because it's like squeaky voice and then fake deep voice. It's like, I don't get this character. What is it supposed to be? I get that she's supposed to be a badass, but she doesn't look like one or even act like one. She ate a protein shake with tuna in it. Oh my god, she's a fucking maniac. I mean, what is it about, like, everyone on the fucking internet putting this girl over? She sucks. Let's just say it. I mean, I actually liked her before. You know, she didn't have any character. She was doing some weird-ass steampunk gimmick that I didn't even get. She comes out with goggles. No explanation to why she dresses that way. But whatever the case may be, you know, it's Becky Lynch. She's hot, and, you know, she's got a good look and everything, the hair and everything like that, and that's good enough for me. Oh, you're sexist, you know, talking about hair and good looks and all that. All right, whatever. But what I'm saying is, like, I liked her for her wrestling ability. I thought she was good. But now it's like, I don't know. First of all, can I ask a question here? Where's her crutch? Wasn't she coming out, like, at the pay-per-view with the crutch? And Charlotte was, like, beating her up? I understand it was a short match, but I never understood. I don't understand this. Like, standing on the bad foot for a match was good for it? That's a miracle, like, healing thing. So, here's some advice. If you ever break a limb, like an arm or anything like that, apply as much pressure as possible onto it, because it's going to magically fix itself, apparently. That's how you fix broken bones. That's how you fix a sprained ankle. What was even supposed to be wrong with the ankle? Was it supposed to be broken? Was it supposed to be sprained? I don't know. It was... I don't think it was ever thoroughly explained, but whatever the case may be, how was she instantly cured of the ailment? Like, out of the blue. Just no crutch. Just, okay, send her out there. I guess it makes good sense because she wasn't even selling it properly anyway. That's what I need to ask. If you can't even sell a simple gimmick like that, like a broken ankle, how the fuck are you going to be considered main event material? You shouldn't even make it off the indies. You shouldn't be able to make it all out into developmental even if you don't know those basic fundamentals of selling, you know, a fake injury. It's like supposed to be oh, you never went to wrestling school. No, but I've watched enough wrestling to know that they're supposed to sell when there's a storyline gimmick, you know, injury, a kayfabe injury. They're supposed to at least sell it. It's supposed to be part of the show. I mean, it looks freaking stupid. Like, you're just out there, like, and, you know, all of a sudden, like, you have a crutch one night, you wrestle a match, and then you don't have one. And it just makes her look bad. That the only reason, like, she's in the match, apparently, is because Ronda punched her once. Which I didn't even understand. She beat her up on Raw, like, furiously, like a big, vicious, like, heel turn attack. And then you fast forward to the pay-per-view, and she's like, you know, just gives her one punch and walks away. And that's it. So she won by a DQ. It was just really ridiculously, like, cringeworthy. Like, holy shit, that was stupid. And now she's like in the match, and then she runs through like all the things that she was suspended, then she was unsuspended, and then, you know, then she was arrested, and now she was taken out of the match, and she's in the match, and it just shows that, like, what are they doing for this WrestleMania? Honestly, it's like the Kofi Kingston thing. He's in, he's out, he's not there. Daniel Bryan has an opponent, he doesn't have an opponent. I mean, like, honestly, what is going on here with this fucking company? They just seem like they've gone fucking mad. They're every single match, every single pay-per-view, they're changing the whole card. They're putting people in matches. They're taking them out of matches, putting them back in again. They're suspending them. I don't even know, like, what this is supposed to be even. What are they doing? Like, I don't even get it. Like, is this supposed to, like, promote the match? Is it supposed to, like, make it more entertaining? What is the purpose? What is the reason behind any of it? Can you even fathom a reason of why they would need to, like, you know, change it's not even like they're taking people out of matches and putting better people in them. Okay, I like Charlotte better. I like Charlotte a lot, actually. You know, she's definitely a lot less cringeworthy than Becky, but, you know, like, why even put Becky into, you know, why have her win the Royal Rumble if you're not going to give her the match? Why even give her the honor of winning that whole fucking hour-long match and wasting our time? And you were just going to book whatever match you wanted anyway. You make us sit there like a bunch of goofballs fucking watching an hour match. And you're not even gonna, the person who won the spot, you're not even gonna give her that spot. And it's fake. They can do whatever they want. It's scripted. It's predetermined, you know. But honestly, like, I sit there saying, like, but you're asking us to watch a match, and we're supposed to believe that there's consequences in here that are crucial to whatever fucking story you're trying to tell. Apparently not, because, you know, based on what you've been doing lately, there's no reason to watch this shit, because it's just so random. You'll just, you know, pull the plug and then, you know, rewire everything at the last fucking minute. Then, and I don't even get this argument. Charlotte comes out, talks some trash to Becky, then Becky says, oh, you know, you've done nothing since, you know, coming into the WWE since 2015 until the man comes along, and then that somehow shuts up Charlotte. Just a really fucking lame-ass argument here. Like, this promo just, like, what? You know, like, I've said this for years, like, people get insulted on these shows for things that can hardly even be deemed as insults, you know? I disagree. You didn't do anything with the division. Oh my god, there's no comeback for that. You know, it should be like, look at you. You're fucking, like, acting like you're stone cold. You're acting like something you're not. I mean, god damn, if someone wanted to cut a shoot on her, they could honestly do it at any moment and it would be easy. R-Truth and Rey Mysterio defeated Andrade and Samoa Joe. So this is really cute. Instead of doing the Fatal 4-Way match that we saw twice, now we get them broken up into tag teams. Great. At least Rey Mysterio won here. Then we get a tag match. It's Rowan and Daniel Bryan defeating Mustafa Ali, the Lion King guy, and Kevin Owens. So many problems here. First of all, where's my Daniel Bryan promo? Like, I don't get this. Obviously, the most over thing on this fucking show is the promos. He draws legitimate heat. It's a quality promo. Anybody from a mile away could see that Daniel Bryan is, like, the biggest star on the show, based on his character. Obviously, it's the most interesting thing on the show. It's the funniest thing on the show. It's the most intriguing thing on the show. It's basically, if anybody was going to watch even a few minutes from the show, I'd probably recommend that they watch the Daniel Bryan promos. But there was no Daniel Bryan promo. Instead, what we got was a shitty, worthless match. So, I don't even know why, you know, Mustafa Ali's in this match. Rowan just fucking crushes his fucking face with, like, a claw choke slam type of thing. Is it really a choke slam if there's no choke? I guess not. It's a face slam. I don't fucking know. Claw slam. for some reason, like, Kevin Owens is a baby face now, even though, like, he doesn't look like a baby face at all. Can you look at Kevin Owens and he looks like an asshole? That's why he makes a good heel. You know, could they have implemented his character better over the years? Well, of course. And you know, and plus the guy lost weight, but he lost a little bit of weight. And the funny thing is that most of the time when people lose weight, they at least work out. The only thing that Kevin Owens has been working out is his hand dipping into the Cheetos bag. That's about it. His hand reaching into the 12 count Dunkin' Donuts box that they have backstage in catering. That's about it. I mean, aside from that, nothing's changed here. It's just, you know, the one strong thing that I always said about Kevin Owens is he's got a good personality. Cuts good promos. He's good on the mic. We don't get that now. When he cuts a promo, it's super generic and super fucking boring. So, you know, all that's left here is like, okay, what do we got? Just a lot of blandness here. You know, no character from Bryan. No heelish promo from Owens anymore because he's a babyface. And like, what happened now? They had to, like, for some reason, insert Mustafa Lion King Ali into the match at Fastlane. Now it's like, okay, now all of a sudden Owens is taken out of the title picture and he's going to be in a feud with Rowan. Okay. Then in the last segment, we had Vince McMahon informing Kofi Kingston that, you know, he could get an opportunity at WrestleMania, but he's going to have to face 5 guys. It's going to be Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, The Bar, and Rowan next week. And he has to beat all these motherfuckers if he's going to be able to advance to Mania. Couple of things right here. So, just like at Fastlane, Kofi Kingston's like super fucking beta here, letting everybody like talk for him. He's supposed to be a wrestler. He's supposed to be a tough guy. And, you know, the tougher looking guy, Big E's doing all the talking for him. Usually it's supposed to be the other way around. The little guy does the talking and the big guy stays silent. But this time around, it's the other way around. And Xavier Woods and Big E are definitely, you know, Xavier Woods is fucking annoying as shit. But, I mean, they're both better than Kofi on the mic. But he looks like an idiot just standing there while they do the talking for him. They're pleading his case. Kofi's not that bad on the mic. I mean, he did an alright job on the mic here. He was fired up and everything. And, he was asking for an opportunity. And it's like, okay, look, guys, we all notice how this is going to go next week. He's going to end up winning the gauntlet match. He's going to end up going against Bryan. Why? Because they have no one else for him. They could have maybe done something cool, like maybe do a program with Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan, but it's too late for that. You know, that might have been something nice that maybe Kurt Angle could have went out on, you know, Kurt Angle against heel Daniel Bryan. It's something probably a lot of people wouldn't be satisfied with Angle retiring with Daniel Bryan, and that I could kind of understand. You'd probably want to see him go against someone like John Cena, someone with more star power behind him, a better known name, someone who's been around for years with Kurt Angle. So I definitely support that idea that Angle should go out probably against Angle. I mean that Angle should go out against Angle should go out against Cena. But the Daniel Bryan idea is something that would have been better. Like this Kofi Mania thing. Where did it even come from? When it started was at the Chamber. When Lion King, Enya, Mamadisi, Mama, when he got hurt, they swapped him out, put in Kofi Kingston, and then, you know, then they had him, like, you know, lasting like a fucking, like, what was it, like an hour in a match or something like that, 45 minutes on SmackDown, you know, whatever. It was a dragged out match pretty much. But praise Kofi Kingston. I mean, he did work hard. He was out there for a while and everything, but no one gave a shit about him. Now all of a sudden it's hashtag Kofi Mania. And then it's, you know, all of a sudden, let's start caring about Kofi. He's been there for 11 years. Well, how long was Roddy Piper there for? Wasn't he there for like 15 years or some shit? He never won a world title. How long was Jimmy Superfly Snuka there? He didn't win a world title. How many guys? You know, I said this in the past already. Some guys are just not cut out to be world champions. You know what I'm saying? Even someone who I'm a big, huge fan of, like Goldust, for example. Even him, I don't see him being world champion. Some guys are just stuck in the mid-card. That's the way how it is. And Vince McMahon, I really didn't disagree with anything he said there. He's a B-plus player. Okay, they're trying to do, you know, a little reverse psychology thing there. It's like Daniel Bryan was called the B-plus player by Triple H and Stephanie. Ha, ha, ha. And now they're doing it with Kofi. And they're basically repeating the same storyline, except it's a lot lamer because Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, at least to me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people, are like this. They're worlds apart, and Bryan's like all the way up here. You see what Bryan could do with that character that he's been given, and they're even fucking him over with that now. But, you know, when you compare that to Kofi Kingston, I mean, they're miles apart, and they're doing the same storyline. It's not even as big of a movement. They don't even have as many viewers. They're trying to make, like, the Kofi Mania movement's the Yes movement. You know, like thinking that was stupid, like we don't see this. You know, okay, they probably did write that in there for a little irony, the B-plus player thing, but I agree. He's not an A-plus player. Like McMahon said, he's known for doing some crazy shit during the Royal Rumble, but aside from that, the guy's not very charismatic. Besides going, baby, and throwing pancakes to the crowd. What does this guy have going for him? Okay, so I don't know if there's going to be some interference next week during those matches, but you want to talk about a fucking match looking fake, you want to talk about wrestling looking fake, then look no further than next week when Kofi Kingston is going to beat 5 huge motherfuckers. Most of these guys are over like 6'5", 6'6", Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, The Bar, Rowan. You know, we're talking about huge, massive fucking guys here. And Randy Orton, that just speaks for itself. We're talking about, you know, how many fucking championships has this guy won? 12? And you're going to have Kofi Kingston run through all these people? You know, and he's a guy the size of Kofi, and then he's going to go on to Mania. And obviously, he's going to win the belt. And, I mean, if they take the belt off of Bryan, who's working so hard with this character, I mean, they truly are fucking scum. I mean, like, this is the most ridiculous thing. In 2019, well, the ratings are falling. What should we do? Push Kofi Kingston. It's like, how are you looking at Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Elias, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre? And I understand that some of those guys are on different brands, but, you know, like, obviously there's no, like, real rules to the brand extension anymore because Aleister Black and Becky Lynch and everybody like that are going from brand to brand. So I don't get it. I mean, why are all those guys not getting a title opportunity, but Kofi Kingston is? You mean to tell me that all these guys, even Kurt Angle, like I said before, who's given so much to this company, you know, after Stone Cold and The Rock left, who stepped up and really picked up the, you know, the mantle and ran with it? Wasn't it Kurt Angle? One of them anyway. And how did they show him appreciation? They give him a match at Mania, a retirement match, and you don't even know who his opponent is yet. Like, well, obviously he knows his opponent, but we don't know. We're not even given a proper promotion for such a huge match. The legend Kurt Angle is retiring, but this is not the Raw review, folks. I'm just saying this is really a WrestleMania. When you've got Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan on your marquee, you've got fucking problems. This is a fucking joke. This is a fucking farce. This is just, it's embarrassing. It really is. They can't think of any better match for the WWE title. This is the Bruno Sammartino title. This is the Stone Cold title. This is the Rock title. You know, all those legends have worn that title. Fucking Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior. All these huge legends have worn that belt. And we're going to get Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston. That's the big match. The Mega Powers collide. Stone Cold versus The Rock. I mean, Psycho Sid versus The Undertaker. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in the Iron Man match. And Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And guys, thank you all for watching. And this has been your YWC Champ. And I'm signing out.